Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is seeds, bushes and trees. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. So let us take our sanitizer and sing our special sanitizing song. Sanitize every day so the germs can stay away. Sanitize every day so the germs can stay away. Yay! Good job, everyone! For today's lesson, we will be doing data handling and articles. For our lesson, boys and girls, let us now go to page 12. On page 12, we are going to be doing some data handling. Now, the data handling that we're going to be doing is to be putting information on a bar graph. The first thing they tell you is that the grade 1 class brought different flowers to the classroom. They recorded their measurements on a table. Now the table we can see is showing us the different types. On one side we have the flower, and then on the other side we have the number of learners that brought those flowers. It says that the roses were brought by 14 learners. And then you can see that further down we have other types of flowers brought by different types of learners. So, it's going to be our job to use the information on the table to complete the bar graph and show the different flowers brought to the classes. Let's take a look at the board. Now, the one thing that you have to know is that we have been given the flower name and the numbers. So, our flower names are on this side. What we have now done is taken each flower name and put it below on the bar graph. So, the roses are first, which means the roses will be the first one that you have to draw for. As we go down, we can see that we have still our lilies, daisies, sunflowers, and the other ones as well. If you can notice that each one is on its correct space and none of them are sharing a space. So you have to be very careful. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types. So you have to make sure that every single type of flower has its own bar graph. Then the numbers we were given are the ones of the learners who brought those flowers. Let's take a look at roses. Roses says that there are 14 learners. So on one side at the bottom we have the flowers, but on the other side, on the sides, we have the number of children. So if there are 14 learners and our number goes all the way up to 14, that means that all of this represents the roses that were brought by the 14 children. For the other ones, it's the same. Let's take a look at daisies. Now, daisies are written at the bottom, and then daisies are 5. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then that means from 5 going down, this is the number of daisies that were brought. Now you're going to try and do this by yourself. So what you need to do first of all is know your flowers. And then once you know the flowers that are at the bottom for you already, it's now time to take a different color for each one. If you're going to use red for your roses, then you look at the number of roses that were brought. In this case, there are 14. So you go to your chart on the side and look for the number 14. Where the number 14 is where you're going to stop coloring. So all this belongs to the roses, as shown here. Take your time with the coloring, make it neat, boys and girls. And when you're done, try and ask an adult to read your bar graph. If they can see what is going on and your work is neat, then that means you've done the correct thing. Now, these are not the only roses and all the other flowers that we have during this time of the year. I want you to think of the other flowers we can find as well. Take your time with this work, and I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
For the last part of our lesson today, boys and girls, let's all go to page 13. On page 13, we are going to be doing articles. Now, articles is when we use a or an at the beginning for a word. Now, what helps us to know which one to use, either a or an, is the first letter of a word. Now, as you can see, they have given you the names of the pictures that are on top. It's going to be your job to find out whether or not you're going to use a or an, and then you are going to write the correct one with its word. So, how do we know which ones to use? Well, let's take a look at the board and I can help you with that. The first thing you have to know is that uses all the other letters of the alphabet. So if it is just a, that means the beginning letter must either be a B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, or Z. That's the only time we use a. But if we are going to use an, where we have an A and an N together to make an, there are only 5 letters that we need to be looking out for at the beginning of a word. These letters are A, E, I, O, or U. So we're going to do the first 2 and the last 2 together. We're going to do number 1, 2, 7, and 8. Then the rest of them you can do by yourselves. The first one that we have is cake. Now, as you can see, the word cake has a C at the beginning. So if we look for the letter C, we can't find it for an, but we can find it for a. So we say a cake. Now let's do the second one. We can see that it starts with an I. So we look for our I. If we check where we use a, we might not find our I. It is not there. But if we look for an, we can see that it is there. So we're going to say an ice cream. So go ahead and put an. Remember, these are also our vowels. So every word that begins with a vowel starts its sentence or its phrase with an. Now, number 7 has the word hamburger, beginning with an H. So it's going to be our job to find where H is. And it looks like H is in a. So we're going to say a hamburger because the H is with a. The last one that we're going to do today is elephant. You can see that the elephant has an E to start its word. So we need to look for an E. And it looks like E is here for an. So now we say an elephant. Well done! If you managed to do this exercise by yourself, good job. Make sure now that you remember that all our vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, all of the words that begin with vowels will have an in front of it. The rest of them will have a. Take your time. If you need help, that's okay. Read out loud and use the pictures you've been given so that you know the name of the picture and then you write both the article down and its name. Have fun, and I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson and I hope you had fun. I know I did. Remember, if you're not sure what to do or you got a little bit confused, that's okay. You can always ask an adult for help. But make sure that you finish your work by yourself. So now that we are done with our lesson, boys and girls, it's time to sanitize. Remember, how do we sanitize? Well, we rub inside our hands, around our hands, in between our fingers, on our wrists, and our fingertips too. Make sure that your hands are dry before you touch anything else. I wonder where Zoshi is today. I have not seen him. Zoshi? He's playing games. Hi Zoshi, how are you? So, from Zoshi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today and goodbye!
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, MyZone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.